Hello, welcome to the Comic Bros Authority podcast. I am the co-host Miles, and here I am with Andre.
Hi.
All right, so if you hear anything in the background, yeah, exactly that. I'm pulling double duties today. But today we are going to be having a review, a discussion about the movie. What is this movie called?
Joker, Folie, Deux.
Oh, yes, Joker. I wrote a little intro for this.
Oh, okay. Do your thing.
It's back. The sequel nobody asked for. It's the Joker, baby. Who knew this movie would unite the country right before the election? Joaquin Phoenix returns to play the clown prince of crime in a courtroom drama. Todd Phillips returns to directing chair to ask, what would a sequel to Taxi Driver look like, and why is it so boring? And Lady Gaga is there too. Jongleur, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Oh, dear God. Well, first of all, you're not wrong. Second of all, your French sucks.
Yeah, I'm phonetically speaking it.
Well, wonderful.
All right, Andre. So tell me, what did you think about the Joker 2, the Folie Deux?
Oh, God. It's not, I don't think it's as bad as I just made that sound, but I would have to say that it's entertaining enough to be to be a movie, and that's all I got.
My biggest question is, who is this movie for?
I have no idea. Because
Exactly.
yeah, period. Because when you look at all the fans of the first film, of course, people idolize Joker so much, which I think is horrible.
Yes.
But he's a fictional character, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who cares?
Yeah. So to make this movie a musical, but it wasn't really a musical.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. That's what disappointed me the most.
Yeah, because when they said it was going to be a musical, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'll kind of, I'll watch that. But it didn't turn out to be one. It was like a jukebox musical, but it didn't work.
Agreed.
Like, the songs didn't do nothing for me. The songs didn't push the narrative forward. They just kind of spoke about how the characters felt right then and there, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And you know me, I'm a huge fan of musicals.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
And sure, they sang songs, but it wasn't really like, like you said, pushing the narrative forward at all. I didn't get the characters to the next place they need to be to continue the story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. It was very unimaginative like that.
Yeah, it's very unimaginative. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and preface this by saying I didn't like the first Joker movie. I thought the cinematography and the acting were phenomenal, but that's all there was to it. I just thought that it was technically good, but the story didn't do much for me because it was a derivative of better movies. And it's been said to death that it is Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
Yeah.
Totally is. And I feel like Todd Phillips did that before with his movie. What was that one? The one with Miles Teller and Jonah Hill where they're selling arms. That one felt like him wanting to do a Goodfellas movie. And this one felt like he wanted to do Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. So he wears his inspirations a lot on his sleeve, but the writing wasn't there, and there really wasn't much to say in that movie except for society bad.
Society bad. Society made me do these things.
Yeah, and I mean, so in 2019 when that movie came out, there was another movie that had to do with the same themes but did it better. It was Parasite.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that one did it more creatively, and it did it in a lot of show don't tell kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but after watching this one, at least I think I grown a more of appreciation for that first movie.
I can see where you're coming from. I know, yes, he does wear his inspiration on his sleeves, but I enjoyed the first one. It made more. I mean, in comparison to this one, it was more coherent.
Yes.
Um, and while you do say, there's a lot of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Well, yeah, but you could see that as the director paying homage to those films, like the way people pay homage to Akira when they do the bicycle slide.
That's an homage to a shot as opposed to homaging an entire character arc and aesthetic and film in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it becomes kind of close to ripoff. I think Tarantino does homages way better when it comes to like Django Unchained. You get a little bit like, all right, your black hero, you get Shaft in there, but you do it, in a different setting. You do it in a different time, and it works better. Whereas this one, it's just it hits a little too close to home to that, where you just immediately see it. There was I think Grant Morrison said it best when he talked about his own work on Zenith.
They,
I'm sorry?
they,
Oh, yes. When they talked about their own work on Zenith, they said that the inspiration is too close on its sleeve. Obviously, it's trying to ape off of Miracle Man. It's trying not ape off of it, but there was a strong influence of that, the deconstruction of a superhero that plays into it. So, but I don't want to rag on that first movie too much. Like I said, because I grown an appreciation for it.
yeah.
Because
I mean, it's honestly I think the first one, like you said, from a technical standpoint, is beautifully made.
it's so
It's gorgeous
it's
to
a
look at.
gorgeous looking movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I actually like sympathize with Fleck.
Oh, Arthur Fleck. Yeah.
Arthur. I kept wanting to call him Alfred, but I was like, wait a minute, he's supposed to be the Joker. He doesn't have the same name as Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I don't call him Alfred. I don't know why.
Oh, geez.
But yeah. I do think the first movie is, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so different. Like, yes, you can do so many things, but I mean, have you ever heard of that there are only like a certain amount of stories that we are able to tell?
I heard that with music because there are only so many chords and so many chord progressions you have in a song. So a lot of the stuff sounds the same. So I haven't heard that with stories to tell, but yeah. I mean, everyone has their own opinion with it. And like I said, like now the appreciation has grown because it's like you take this comic book character and then you turn it into this real movie,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Not to shit on the superhero genre because there's a lot of superhero movies I love, but
Yeah. But for the most part, there are a lot of stale ones.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot more stale than there are good ones, and this was a nice character piece, and at least the first one had something to say, even if it did it kind of weakly with its themes
Yeah.
of society bad. I get it, society bad, but it's about somebody falling through the cracks of society and through the system and everything, and this is what he turns out to be, like this agent of chaos. But that's a lot more than can be said about this one. Holy shit.
Yeah. This one didn't really have much of a plot besides the movie is about Arthur already being He's not necessarily in jail. Is he? He's just in Arkham, right?
Yeah, he's in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
So to
So
speak.
he's in Arkham Asylum,
Yes.
and his court hearing comes up. He meets a woman, Harleen Quinzel Lee. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a bit. And then they go and they form this relationship where she thinks he's someone, and then from the second act and on, it turns into this courtroom drama.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it for the movie.
Yeah. So when it comes to the courtroom drama, it literally was, and I said this when we were walking out the theater, that it's there to remind you of everything he did in the first movie. But I seen the first movie, which is why I'm watching the second movie. So what's the point? It kind of felt like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, where it just reminds you of the first movie.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I agree with you on that. When we saw the movie the other night and we're walking out, I did say I enjoyed the courtroom scenes, mainly because of Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
I think I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
So when he starts representing himself,
yeah,
yeah,
I love that scene.
I like it too. It's his fucking hubris.
Yeah, it is.
Like the performances are not the problem in this movie.
They're not.
They're really good. Like Joaquin Phoenix again knocks it out of the park.
And Lady Gaga, she's really good.
Oh, she's very competent as an actress. I really liked her in that one movie she did with Bradley Cooper.
Oh, you ended up watching it?
A Star Is Born?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it a few years ago.
You told me like, no, I don't want to see it. Whatever.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
I liked it.
pretty damn solid.
Yeah, Gaga surprised the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
She pulled out all the stops, and I think that's what they were trying to replicate in this one, or what Todd Phillips was trying to replicate again. But it just didn't work. Yeah, first of all, I want to talk about the music.
Okay. Yeah, since this was promoted as a musical, it was talked about like it was going to be a musical.
There was a lot of chatter and everything online, like, oh, it's going to be a musical. Then it was confirmed, but the trailers don't really make it seem like it's a musical.
There are certain parts of it.
Yeah, but I mean, you get to play songs and hear people singing.
Yes.
But you don't get that. You just get, they just grabbed a song from the 50s and they played it over the movie, over scenes of the movie. That's the trailer.
Yeah. They didn't really do much with it. And I think you're making fun of it that everybody was kind of, even Gaga, everyone was kind of singing the same way the entire movie.
Yeah, like everyone's cadence was at a certain level. Like they'd start singing very, very soft. And then explosion into, orchestra, and then, and then it's a number. And that's really all it is. It's just them covering songs. Not that I'm like shitting it for like, oh, not having original music, but if you're going to be using a song, there are great jukebox musicals out there that you can go ahead and that use songs to progress characters, but you don't see that at all.
Yeah.
I found myself pretty bored during the musical numbers. They didn't excite me or anything.
No, they didn't.
At all. I think the first one kind of did.
Which one was that?
It's Joaquin Phoenix is watching TV.
Oh, yeah, and he's dancing in the mess hall.
Yeah, not necessarily the mess hall. They're just watching that TV room.
Yeah.
And he starts singing some song.
Yeah. I don't know what song it was.
I
like that. It's not coming out with me. I know the song. Was it that Stevie Wonder song?
Oh, For Once in My Life.
For Once in My Life.
Yes.
See,
look, we got there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so For Once in My Life, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Joaquin Phoenix isn't the greatest singer.
No. I think he works best when he works at a certain range, like when he did
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it worked.
It worked. Yeah.
But for this one, it just and you know what? Not that I'm saying like, oh,
Well, you put him up against fucking Gaga, like
and
it
Gaga
stands out.
of course. And you know, Gaga's that woman. You know, she was with Tony Bennett on tour.
Oh fuck, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my
How
god.
do you not know that?
I don't.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand Arthur Fleck's character is not supposed to be the one that's like all of a sudden having a really good voice or anything. I'm not knocking Joaquin Phoenix for his voice and, you know, being compared to Gaga. But that was just kind of it. It was just flat for about every song.
Yes.
And none of it wowed me. None of it did anything for me. And, you know, we were the only two in the theater.
Yeah. This movie is doing so poorly right now. Because the first one made $1 billion.
Yes.
That is fucking insane. Like a character drama. Yeah, it's about a comic book character, but it's a character drama making $1 billion. That isn't Avengers. That isn't Spider-Man.
That's true.
And it made that much fucking money. Like, that's insane. So, yeah, like I said in the thing, it's who is this movie for? Because the DC fans aren't liking it.
No.
Who else?
There's the Gaga fans.
The Gaga fans.
I mean, they like her performance, but I don't think they like the movie.
Exactly. You have your cinema bros. They're not really going for this.
No.
I
mean, honestly, there wasn't even a whole lot of sets or anything. Like, even when it came to the musical numbers.
It's not for the far left either, because they reject Joker.
Yes.
It's not for the far right incels, because they're rejecting this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie basically kind of shits on them, which, I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit either way, to be honest. Everyone just made a big hoopla about the first one going to cause mass panic, and I'm like, it's just the Joker. Like, it's such a non-controversy.
It's the Joker, baby.
It's the Joker, baby. So this movie, nobody, I don't think, was clamoring for this sequel, and yet it's here.
I didn't need a sequel. When I found out, when the news came out that there was going to be a sequel, I was like,
why?
What else can you do unless you're going into Batman territory?
Yeah. I at least thought we were going somewhere into that, but then it just...
I mean,
no Waynes mentioned whatsoever, no nothing.
Yeah, there's no Waynes in this one. You see, like, a brief glimpse of, Wayne Tower.
Oh, I had...
Literally blink and you miss, but you also went to the restroom at one point.
All right, yeah, maybe I was like digging in my popcorn because that was more interesting than the courtroom drama.
Yeah, let's talk about the courtroom stuff.
Okay, most of the movie takes place in it. It's just one giant set. So why did this movie cost $200 million?
Damn, really?
Yep.
Because going back to the sets thing, the only sets in this movie were Arkham Asylum,
yes,
and the courtroom,
yes,
and that.
Those are the two main sets.
Yeah, and then you have like all the like.
You have some exteriors of New York and everything like that when he's running. Like
when they're going to and from the courthouse, that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, So being on a set, I've worked on courtroom dramas.
Yeah.
You could easily film all that stuff in like a couple months. And then it's just, I've worked on a set where it's the LA courthouse, but built inside of a studio, like this warehouse.
Yeah.
So
it's movie magic.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about it. I'm just like, okay, like the sets look nice, like no shade to the carpenters and, production designers and, set deck or anything like that. But damn, like who the fuck ate up all that budget? Because then you have to add on another 100 million. So that for advertising and marketing. So that puts it up to 300 million, or maybe like 250 to 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs about like 5 to 600 to break even. So it needs $500 million to break even, and that's not even going to fucking happen.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So you mentioned sets, and I'm just like, I swear we had like 2 major sets.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that that's all you had?
Yeah.
When again, comparing it to the first one, you had so much.
Yeah.
Like a film with that budget is more than just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the courtroom, okay, so Catherine Keener plays his attorney, which I love. Where have you been, Catherine Keener?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I missed her.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw her, I was like, no way she's in this.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in it.
I didn't know she was in it either.
I only knew that it was Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. I saw, the teaser trailer.
And Brendan Gleeson. That's all I knew.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, I saw him in the trailer, and I was like, oh, look, it's Brendan Gleeson.
Jackie, right? He plays Jackie, the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear that inmate, the one who's crazy, who they're showing throughout the whole movie, I was like, is that supposed to be Zaz?
I thought it was supposed to be Zaz, but let's get to that later.
Okay.
Let's get to that later.
Okay.
All right. So, the courtroom. I enjoy the courtroom stuff because then you got to see some really great performances in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know Zeiss Beats was in the movie.
I didn't know either.
And she shows up and she says like 3 lines, but then it's all like over, flashbacks from the first film.
Yeah. It's every time she talks, the camera cuts away, and it's like everything was done in ADR. So you don't really see her speaking her lines. You just hear her speaking her lines.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it for, I just like courtroom stuff.
Right. I do too.
The one that got me was when God, why do I want to keep saying
Arthur Fleck?
I keep saying Alfred.
Jesus.
I'm a mess.
Yeah, you are.
Arthur fires Catherine Keener, and then he starts representing himself in full Joker makeup.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix turns into a great performance right there, doing this kind of southern accent that reminded me a lot of the rooster from Futurama. the rooster lawyer.
All right, so yeah, I was getting Kevin Spacey in A Time to Kill.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like, okay. And
that's what I found enjoyable, because otherwise it's a really dour film.
Yeah,
it's like it opens up pretty depressing when like there's a scene where he's talking to one of the guards and he makes a joke. He slaps the back of one of the guards and you think like, oh, he's getting along. Then immediately the guard slaps the back of his head. And I don't know why it made me jump.
It made me jump too.
I was like, holy shit.
Me. It was a hard one. Yeah.
Yeah. That one got me. And I was like, okay, well, we can't have fun here.
No. Not in this movie.
No, definitely not in this movie, because this movie is just like, it's like I said, dour. There's barely any kind of like comedy.
What did you want, like Silver Age Joker or something?
Shit, give me that. But yeah, then when he starts representing himself and he is talking to Puddles.
Yeah.
Puddles, first of all, great performance right there.
Yes.
That I felt every emotion that was coming out of him. He was terrified.
I loved it too. I loved the actor in his performance. What I didn't like about that scene was when we had the shot of him sitting on the phone book on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why do we need to see this to remind us that he's a little guy? We know he's little. We see him walking into the courtroom. We remember from the first movie.
We remember.
Yeah, and the thing is, it goes on to remind us what happened in the first movie. And then also when he's talking to, what's her name, Zazie Beetz, what's going on? They're talking about what's happening in the first movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, I know, like, ah, it was frustrating to watch because it's so slow paced and everything. And I'm watching it and I'm like, this is an endurance test. I know, like, I don't know. It was like, it was pissing me off.
It, yeah, I hear you. I get that. But the performance was fantastic.
Yes.
I think Joaquin Phoenix really turned it out for this movie as he always does, which surprises me because I think the last movie I saw him in,
Was it Napoleon?
oh shit, he was in that, huh?
Yeah, he was.
But no, I didn't see that.
Ah.
It was from a year or two ago, black and white. He's
Oh, come on, come on.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. His weight goes up and down so much with this. I want like
He's getting up there. He should stop that.
you know what? When I saw him in this movie with his shirt off, I
I
was
heard you.
yeah,
You were like, is that his fucking weight?
it's insane.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. My God, like this can't be good for you.
No. You have to stop it at some point. And he's like, what, 50 years old now?
Yeah.
So he has to. Yeah.
Damn, he's so good.
He's too good.
He's too good. Yeah, so what did you think? Well, there's not really much to go off of because there's not that many main characters. You spend a lot of time
Oh, can
with
we talk? Oh, Gaga, I guess.
yeah.
We haven't talked about Gaga at all.
I know. I was getting there.
Oh. Go on. Get to the Gaga of it all.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finished. No, I was saying there's not a whole lot of people you spend a lot of time with in this film besides Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. The way Lady Gaga is in this movie, she plays a woman that Arthur meets in Arkham Asylum. I'm going to call it that because that's what it is. I don't know if they say it in the movie or not.
Yeah.
Because I found myself.
Well, it's called Arkham, so I'm going to guess.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's on their shirts. It's plastered everywhere.
I was on my phone.
Oh. Yeah. I looked over at you and you were on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So, when it comes to, Harley Quinn, what did you think of her character in this? I mean, you've seen her in the cartoons, you've seen Margot Robbie's interpretation, you've read books with Harley Quinn. What did you think of this version of her?
This is the version of Harley Quinn that I don't like.
Okay.
Because she has no agency of her own. It's the worst version of Harley Quinn that we have had. Because the one that's like totally in love with the Joker is not the one that I like. Like, it's cool when I was younger, like during like her early years, but the character has evolved so much more into her own that I think that old one doesn't work. It's like Batman using guns. Like, Batman used guns in his early years. He doesn't do that shit anymore. Now it's part of his mythos that he does not use them. So it's like if we went back to that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with that.
Why?
Well, not strongly, just disagree.
Okay.
I do believe she has agency because the way she was portrayed in the cartoons and even in the early comics, I just read her introduction in No Man's Land.
Okay.
And she is getting choked out. She's getting beat the fuck up by the Joker. And she's like, oh, why does he treat me like this? And then he says, Harley, I actually need you for something. And she goes, oh, Mr. J, I love you so much. But in this, she chooses to walk away from him. She was in love with Arthur because she thought he was the Joker. But in that courtroom scene when he says that's not like, it's not like a separate personality or anything, like I'm just fucked up like the rest of you. That
society.
Yes, because society. That she goes and she walks right out of that courtroom and she leaves. That's it. I believe that she had the agency to walk away like she did. And even at the end of the movie when he sees her on the stairs She takes off most of the makeup. She's not wearing that, that red dress anymore.
Yeah.
She cut her hair,
Yeah.
and he's like, come on, let's run away together. And she's like, no, you're not the man I thought you were. And she bounces.
I don't know. I just don't like Harley being in love with Joker. That's me. That's the version of Harley I like. I like her solo.
I like her solo too, but I think it's integral to have for her to have that character arc of falling in love with, this batshit dude, and then realizing I know what's better for me.
Okay.
And she leaves and she ends up banging Poison Ivy.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's an integral part of her character arc.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I see where you're coming from, but I still am not a fan of Lady. Well, Lady Gaga didn't do a bad job,
No, she didn't.
but it's how she's written that I didn't like. That's it.
Yeah, that she was just this crazy liar that came from a rich family and all that stuff.
No. Like I said, like just her being in love with the Joker and everything, and there's not really much of a character arc to her. She doesn't really learn a lesson.
Yeah.
She's just there as sort of a plot device or to push the main character along instead of being her own character.
Like she's just character development.
Yes, exactly that.
She is character development for someone else rather than having her own character development.
Exactly. Like,
Okay.
and even if the character development was there, to me it was very little.
Yeah, she didn't really have any.
And that's
she was an accessory.
Yes.
That's all she really was.
Yes.
Because we all know how much Arthur loved the fame.
Yeah, and
he loved being on that Murray show. When he was signing that copy, you see a smile come on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just liked being famous.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, with her and her own agency, it's just
Okay.
there wasn't enough there for me to call her like a true character.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
She's really she's just there. She doesn't really do anything memorable.
No.
Um
She sings song.
she was hired to sing some songs and she does it well.
She sings song, she sang song good.
Yeah, she did. But for most of the movie they called her Lee.
Yes.
There's just something about it when like a comic or a movie based off a comic book, and when I say comic book in this sense, it's superhero genre.
Yes.
It's we have to make it as realistic as possible.
That's my kind of my gripe right now with at least these Batman movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this one, even though they said her full name in the movie, they're like, all right, this is Harleen Quinzel. But the whole movie they're calling her Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, why can't you just call her Harleen?
That's what I thought too, because at some point I left to go get popcorn and candy.
Yes.
And when I came back, all they were calling her, because that line, like, although it was short, like the dude took forever filling up the popcorn bucket. Yeah, I don't know, but it took a while.
Yeah.
By the time I got back, they were saying Lee this, Lee that, and I was like, who the fuck is Lee?
Yeah.
And then I had to put it together, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's whack.
Yeah. So it's like what they did recently in the Penguin show. They changed his name from
Otto,
Oswald Cobblepot.
Mm-hmm.
His name in the show is because they want to make it realistic. They call him Oz Cobb.
What?
Yeah, his name is Oz Cobb in the TV show.
That's stupid.
It sounds
ridiculous. It sounds more cartoony than Cobblepot.
Yeah, it sounds it sounds like Oz Cobb sounds way less realistic than Oswald Cobblepot. There are plenty of people named Oswald. I know an Oswald.
I know. Yeah. What? See, like that's the thing, and that's what I've been upset about with these Batman movies. I don't need them to be, crazy comic book movies, but I don't need them to be like based in reality, which is every iteration that we've been getting since the Schumacher stuff.
That's why I'm getting a little tired of these movies, because I kind of want to see the fantastical elements of Batman.
I want to see Ivy. I want to see Clayface.
I want to see Mr. Freeze. I want to see freaking Killer Croc. I mean, we kind of got that in Suicide Squad, but
Kind
whatever.
of.
Um,
I want a crocodile.
yeah. BET. Jesus.
Yeah, shit. Give me some of the outlandish mobsters.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something interesting. Yeah, do something interesting. I don't want to see Hush.
Oh no.
No,
I don't give a shit about Hush.
I don't care about Hush. I really don't. It was a whatever story, and then I read the Paul Dini Hush stuff. It was better, but still, I don't care.
I heard the Paul Dini stuff is way better.
It is, but I don't care about the character.
So that's kind of my whole thing. It was like, all right, we got Joker, we got Joker 2, we got the Batman, we're getting the next the Batman, and then we got the Penguin, and those are all based in reality. On top of the Christopher Nolan films already feeling like a crime saga.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking, like, how realistic can you get with Batman? Like, just fucking give me something. Give me weird Batman.
Yes, give me the Condiment King, please.
Yeah. Kite Man.
He's hot right now.
Hell yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Just get a little weird with it. That's what I like about comic books, when they get weird with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going back to Joker to Folie Adieu.
Honestly, I could have skipped out on that one.
Yes, I knew.
You're not missing anything.
You're not. You could stop with the first one, and that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's
okay. Before we go on, let's talk about the ending.
Oh yes, there's an ending.
There is an ending to this movie that shuts down Arthur Fleck's story. It closes it out.
He gone.
He dies. Boom.
Spoiler
alert, he dies. So what happens is there's an explosion at the courtroom, and he gets away with a couple of Joker fanatics, but then he runs away from them.
Don't forget, Harvey Dent was the assistant DA prosecuting him. And when the thing blows up, you see half of his face is fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easter egg, but that's all you see, and the camera just pans by him, and that's it.
Yep. I just wanted to point that out, just for anybody who likes to get geeky with it.
Yeah, because I pointed out in the theater.
Yeah, I was like, hey. Oh, look, half his face is gone. Why don't you look at that? Oh, he's dead.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he gets arrested again. He goes back to Arkham, and then when he's told that he has a visitor, he's walking. He gets stopped in the hallway, and then he gets shivved by this mystery character that you've been seeing throughout the film. That the camera holds on this character when Arthur leaves a room.
Yes,
and that's
where I was just like, oh, this guy's gonna do him in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought the entire film. But then, like, the camera focuses on Arthur as he, hits the wall and is bleeding out on the floor. And the unfocused part in the back is the guy who just stabbed him, cutting open his mouth and gurgling on the blood and laughing.
Yeah, he just starts he basically does what Heath Ledger does cutting his face open.
Yeah, he basically becomes the Heath Ledger Joker, kind of. In the fact of the scars as an indicator, but that's really about it because the movie ends right there.
Okay, so did you hear about the first movie?
What?
All right, so this is before WB and Christopher Nolan had a falling out. So they asked him, what do you think of the Joker? He's like, all right, it's good. But Todd Phillips wanted Arthur Fleck to do the scars on his face to give him the scarred smile.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan said no, because that's too close to my Joker.
Yeah.
So WB told Todd Phillips, hey, don't do that. And I guess since Christopher Nolan is with Paramount now, I believe. He's with another studio. It's not with WB.
Hmm.
So Todd Phillips threw that in this movie.
Okay.
And a lot of the time, I guess he didn't talk to Peter Safran and James Gunn.
No, I read reports that he didn't. He didn't want to talk to them at all.
There's a part of me that understands why he did that.
Hmm.
Like, all right, you want to be an auteur, you want to make the movie you want to make without a committee or anything going on, but you look at the end result and then you see like, look what good that did you.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a catch-22 there.
Yeah, I see that. I heard he didn't want to talk to anyone high up in Warner Brothers. He just said, "This is a Warner Brothers movie, not a DC movie."
Yeah, I
And
get it.
yeah, no, no,
I get
I
it.
I completely understand what he was going for. Did it stick the landing?
Hell no.
No, it didn't.
Hell no.
Yeah, so Arthur Fleck dies on the floor, and that's life.
Yeah. The song plays and then that's it, and then movie's done. Roll credits. When that happened, I was just kind of like, okay,
Do you think the ending right there with the guy slicing open his cheeks to make the smile, do you think that's supposed to be someone who wants to become the Joker?
it's possible.
Yeah, like I know. Well, I'm asking your interpretation of that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that much from it. Does it matter? No.
No, it doesn't because there's not going to be any more.
No, that's it. I
I,
guess I guess it's I if I were to go further and split hairs to try to interpret this, it's that Arthur Fleck's legacy continues through other people,
yeah.
as opposed to instead of Arthur Fleck himself started becoming a symbol,
Hmm.
like how
A
Batman
martyr.
is. A martyr, yeah. So it becomes something like that,
Okay.
and
Yeah. And that's it.
that's really it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Honestly, you can't really say much about it.
but I mean, that's not really set or set up throughout the movie. It's all just a giant courtroom drama to prove that he has uh, DID,
Hmm.
what's now known as DID, but that's just a fluke just to get him a lesser sentence.
Hmm.
And there's no real setup to that. There's no real big chaos to wanting him, or at least like setting up that whole thing of, the Joker's legacy is going to continue on or anything like that. There's nothing like that.
The only thing I can think of is just what fandom is today, and how people are just going to idolize people like that. I mean, you take just look at the way fandom idolizes the wrong people. You have the Joker, you have Eric Cartman from South
Yes.
Park.
Yes.
I think
Rick Sanchez,
Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Homelander from The Boys.
Strong example right there. Homelander from the fucking boys. Even though
Yes.
he's the fucking bad guy.
Yeah. It's God. I mean, I understand having a villain that you understand that you can have some sort of level of empathy for, but nothing as far as like, wanting to be that super villain. Like Harvey Dent, you
Yeah.
know. I get it. Like he's a man who had a really bad fucking year.
He had a terrible year.
He had a terrible year, which led him down the path of madness to finally go outside the law and having his mind split to where he becomes Two Face.
Mm-hmm.
Batman, no, well, in some ways, Batman's a bad guy. He's a rich guy who beats up on poor people.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's justice.
it's justice, stuff like that. It's like I get it, but I don't subscribe to it.
Yeah.
So would you say if that's like Todd Phillips in a way showing like, because a lot of people have said that, all right, this is more like Todd Phillips spitting on the DC fans or people who idolize the Joker in some way?
I haven't heard or like read
Okay.
anything to
I just heard.
to support that.
Okay.
So
I
I'm shrugging my shoulders.
I heard something like that. I didn't get too much into it because I try to stay away from like all kinds of reviews up until talking about this. After
Yeah.
this, I'm going to go fucking buck nasty and just look at a bunch of reviews. I mean, I'm pretty sure my mind's still made up for the most part. It's
Oh
the
no, no. I mean I when I go and I see a movie, the way I interpret it is, did I have fun or not? That's my review until I sit on it for a day or two, then I can come up with the fully realized, answer of was it a good movie or not.
yeah. I'm glad we didn't record this immediately. It would have been like a stream of conscious review.
Mhm.
And I got to sit on it and then just ask all the questions I'm asking you today, like who is this movie for? What's going on? This movie just doesn't work on in a lot of different ways for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's do you want to rate this movie?
Out of 5, I would give it a 2. Performances are great. It's shot beautifully again. Its cinematography is wonderful,
Yes.
but that's it. That's all I can give it. And that's me being gracious.
I was going to say a 1.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
scathing.
I know. Um like the performances are great.
Yes.
That's the main draw for it.
Mm-hmm.
They are great actors. They came to do a job and they did that job. Unfortunately, it was a lot of other factors that really brought the movie down.
Yes.
So it's a one and a half for me.
Okay. Yeah. Shit, I might have to drop mine down to 1.5 too because
No, stick with your shit, dog. Stick with it.
no. I'm gonna bring it down to 1.5 as well. Fuck you.
How dare you?
It's because just even going now, just thinking about it, I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, like beyond those two good points, the rest of the movie just doesn't work. There's no point to the movie.
I wanted a musical. I was really hoping, like, if they made it into the musical that they were promising it was going to be, I would have had a better time in the theater.
I think so too.
Because, like, when we walked in kind of late. They were doing this weird they were having this cartoon
Yeah,
play.
very like Grease.
Yes. Yeah, like they had that like old school animated opening,
Yeah.
but they didn't. I don't know why it was there. Maybe just to make it feel like an old film.
Yes, that was it. It's there for style, adding no substance.
Yeah. So, and like even then, you could have done a musical number, an opening musical number.
Yeah.
You could have done many more musical numbers that would have been great if they actually stuck to, like, hey, we're going, like, if Joker 2 was a full on musical, that would have been perfect. Could be that's because that's what I expected. That's what I thought because what's crazier than like, you're going to an asylum for murdering a lot of people
Yeah.
and then you just break out into song. That's complete madness, and I would have loved it if that were actually what really happened.
That's what Folie do means, the madness of two minds or madness of two.
I did not even look up the definition of
I
that.
looked it up because I thought that was a very pretentious as hell title.
Same.
And I was like, what the fuck does this even mean? I was like, oh, okay, so Joker and Harley. Got it.
Yeah.
I think the movie
I knew do meant
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I knew that.
That's what I've been taking all day. No, honestly, I think the movie would have worked better had it been in like the point of view of Harley, who's somebody who's obsessed with the Joker, and they had that one disease where they break out into song and musicals. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would have been so sweet.
Yeah.
Especially like if
One condition.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. If you had the point of view from Harley Quinn's perspective and idolizing this man, this false prophet, because that's essentially what he was in this film. Just a false prophet. He was just unhappy with his life, so he made some really drastic changes, and everyone built him up to be like uh this king of,
The clown prince of crime.
yeah, but for him that wasn't the case. He was just upset.
Yeah.
He was just a broken man. But if you had it from the perspective of Harley Quinn idolizing that man who would break out and she would break out into song because she's in love.
And you're singing it in her mind, so everyone's singing in song. And you had original numbers, or fuck it, make it juke. Even if you made it a jukebox music,
I think if they would have steered in the direction more like Singing in the Rain,
okay, yeah,
having those kind of wild set pieces, because I don't know, have you seen the movie?
I've seen clips.
Okay. Now, that is a musical because it doesn't just linger in one place. They are trying to make a movie in that movie, but
That's a movie's movie.
that is. And the set pieces that they have in that are insane and they're great. And that's what a musical is supposed to invoke.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be like just someone's imagination going to the nth degree.
Yeah, because for me, the best example of a great musical is Little Shop of Horrors. Just because the last time I watched that movie, I saw it for the masterpiece that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Cats, and then I watched Little Shop of Horrors. Let me tell you a story, Andre. I was tripping. I ate some magical fungus. And I watched Cats, and that was a fucking nightmare. The musical numbers did nothing. They were just the cats singing about their introduction. I'm a fat cat. Look at me. I eat everything around me. Hey, I'm a cat that likes to be on the train tracks. Look at me. Hey, I'm a cat, and I think being inside is nice. Look at me.
Yeah.
And that is it within the damn movie. And then I watched Little Shop of Horrors, and that movie is just like, hold on. Like, my name is Audrey. What was what's his name's character in the movie?
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis' character in the movie.
Seymour.
So you have Seymour and Audrey. They're like, well, we live in this area. We got to get out of here. Our hopes, our ambitions are to get out of Skid Row. And then, of course, when he goes like, well, let me tell you a story where I found this funny plant. I was walking, and there was a full total eclipse, and boom, and
total eclipse of the sun.
Yeah, because it's like not every set piece was an introduction. Like, I'm a dentist.
No, you just kept telling the story and
it kept pushing it forward. I was like, holy fuck, the movie is still moving.
Suddenly Seymour.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, hold on, I love you, you love me, we could run away together. Suddenly Seymour, this is where I see my future with you.
Yeah, like in my past, my dad was gone. My mom, she was broke, and she told me, love someone with money, then you'll make it out of here.
Yeah.
That's basically Audrey's story. Seymour, I was abandoned when I was a kid, and this guy gave me a job and a place to sleep in the basement of the shop.
He treats me like shit, but I mean, it's better than nothing.
Down on Skid Row.
So yeah, if we had something like that, something entertaining with some like great musical dance numbers, something like with songs, because like again, like my favorite song off of that album is Skid Row, Downtown. It's amazing. You hit this fucking high where everyone's just singing at their best.
And
it's
belting.
Like this, they were belting it out. And then of course it's not the only good song in it.
The opening song is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Shop of Horrors is great.
Yeah,
Suddenly Seymour, Somewhere That's Green.
Yeah.
Mean Green Mother.
Feed Me. Yeah, Mean Green Mother. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking great.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just when you have like good writers, good songs, even good choreography. Because I know that movie didn't have a lot of dancing in it. But still, if you had something that is entertaining, you could still push that narrative through.
Yeah, like that scene where Harley and Joker are on stage, like they're doing like the Cher show.
Yeah.
Like that little piece, if there was more to it than them just standing there holding a microphone and
There was supposed to be like a Sonny and Cher or whoever, Captain
exactly,
and Tennille.
but
I
they
don't know.
didn't do anything with it. It
No,
was
they were just standing there.
Yeah, just standing there holding the microphone. And that was it for that musical number.
Oh wait, she shot him. It's supposed to be like the end of the movie. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yeah, yeah. I caught it before I saw the end of the movie.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, again, if we got it, I think executed in a different way, I think the movie would have totally fucking worked. If they really were just like, hold on, we're making this a musical, I would have been all for it. But it was barely that. It was barely a courtroom drama. It was barely a psychoanalysis on a fractured man falling through the system.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is a piece of shit.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say shit. I would say it's more of garbage.
What's the difference?
Shit can be on like garbage is. I don't know. I think shit's just too mean.
You can use shit as compost. You can't do that with garbage.
Oh, well. You got me, Mr. Green Man.
Thanks, Sesame Street.
I'm sure your son needs you.
Yes. No. But yeah, definitely a 1.5. I did not like this movie. I am going to forget it in a couple more days. There's nothing really to it.
It took a lot for me to remember the film as we're setting up to record. I was like, shit, what happened in this movie? Oh, wait, not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. Nothing.
And honestly, that's that, folks.
Yep. That's all, folks.
I don't know. It's a WB film. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you want to go watch it, go watch it. This is just our opinion. That's it.
I can't recommend this movie.
I don't recommend this movie.
Just watch the first one. It's fine enough to watch. Like I said, I have a better appreciation for it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, what is the next episode going to be about?
Oh, the next episode?
Yeah.
You tell me, because our schedule is kind of fucked right now.
Our next episode will be about a book that just came out. It's called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Ooh.
Just in time for spoopy movies.
Yes.
Spoopy season.
I have not read this. I'm very excited. Everyone kept clamoring about it all year, so I'm excited to read this.
Oh yeah, I've been reading it since the first issue came out.
Yeah. And then after that, we have a childhood favorite that we're going to revisit that is in line with the spooky season.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Is it Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's the Green Ribbon.
No! No! Why? Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that has been our review for Joker 2. And yeah, I mean, we have plenty more. We have a few guests coming on. We're just trying to line that up, and you'll see.
Oh my God.
You'll hear.
Yeah. It's I never knew scheduling people would be this hard. I feel bad for my bosses because I'm always scheduling time off.
Yep.
Well, I work hard enough to do it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. So this is Miles signing off.
This is Andre signing off.